Dubey sir, please unmute and speak.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, friends. We are going to watch a short video about 28-30 minutes of Krishnaji. This is from the same series, the Myth and Tradition, produced by Michael Mendiza and Evelyn Blau. And this is on Choiceless Awareness. So I'll just share the screen, and after that we can have a dialogue around that. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What does it mean to be aware, to be fully, deeply alive from moment to moment? Most of us have a distinctive awareness of our likes and dislikes. There's a sharp division. But is it possible to just be aware, to leave like and dislike behind, and simply see things as they are? Those times in which awareness is far beyond the mere focus of concentration, Krishnamurti calls choiceless awareness. As he has said, when you're very clear, there's no need for choice. It is a subject he returned to again and again over the years. Krishnamurti on choiceless awareness.
How do you look at this marvelous sun, the beauty of this place? What does it mean? Do you observe it, aware of it, without any choice, without any desire, just to observe the extraordinary beauty of the land? Or when you are aware, is there always a choice? I prefer this land to another land. I prefer this valley to other valleys. So there is always memory and choice operation. And can one be aware without any choice at all, just be aware of the extraordinary sense of the blue sky, the blue sky through the leaves, and just move with it all. You understand? So that there is no division between the outer and the. It's like a tide going out and coming in. There's an awareness of this world outside of us and an awareness of the world deep inside of us, conscious as well as the unconscious. When one is really deeply conscious or aware, there is no remnant or hidden unconscious movement. I don't know if you've gone through all this, you've done it, not merely listened to a lot of words. So awareness is this movement of the outer and the inner, and discover for oneself whether there is a division between the outer and the inner. What is concentration? To concentrate upon a page, upon a picture, to concentrate all one's energy on a particular point. In concentration, there is always the one who tries to concentrate. And in that concentration, there is an effort and control. So there is a controller and a control in concentration. There is a division between the controller and the control. And so there is an effort, a sense of division. Where there is division, there must be conflict between the controller and the control. That is generally what we call concentration. Now, is there in attention this division? Are you listening attentively now? Listening to the speaker, what he's saying about attention. Are you actually listening? And when you really listen, there is no center as the me who is listening. We generally consider fear as something outside us. So there is this question of the observer and the observed. Now, is it possible to look at fear without the observer? So that you are completely in contact with it all the time. Being aware of fear without choice, which means The choice implies the observer choosing whether I don't like this, I like this. Therefore, the observer is when the observer is absent, there is choiceless awareness of fear.
All right.
Right. Therefore, the word prevents being completely in contact with fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Words can be a screen.
Yes. That's all. That's all what we are saying.
All right.
So the word mustn't interfere.
Sure. We have to get beyond.
Beyond the word. But is that possible to be beyond? Theoretically, we say yes, but we are slave to words.
Far too much so, yes.
I mean, it's obvious. We are slave to words. So the mind has to become aware of its own slavery to word, realizing that the word is never the thing.
Right.
So the mind is free of the word to look. That's all implied. Now, there is fear at the conscious level, which is one can understand fairly quickly. But there are the deeper layers of fear, and so-called at the hidden parts of the mind, to be aware of that.
Now you're talking about whether we can be explicitly aware of the full reach of mind.
Yeah, full content reach of the mind, which is both the conscious as well as the deeper layers. The totality of consciousness.
Yes. And can we be explicitly aware of all of that?
Of all.
I'm not sure.
I say it is possible. It is only possible when you are aware during the day what you say, the words you use, the gestures, the way you talk, the way you walk, what your thoughts are. To be completely and totally aware of all.
Do you think all of that can be
Yes,
before
sir.
you in total awareness?
Absolutely. When there is no condemnation and justification. When you are directly in contact. During the day, if you are aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, aware of the motives, all which demands a mind that's highly sensitive.
It seems to me you're saying something like the key to doing this is a radical reversal in our point of view. It's as though we were prisoners straining at the bars for the light and looking for the glimpse of light we see out there and wondering how we could get out towards it, while actually the door of the cell is open behind us. If only we would turn around, we could walk out into freedom.
So, surely, sir, in this is involved the everlasting struggle, conflict. Man caught in his own conditioning and straining, struggling, beating his head to be free. So, and again, we have accepted, with the help of religions and all the rest of the group, that effort is necessary. That's part of life. To me, that is the highest form of blindness, of limiting man to say you must everlastingly live in effort.
And you think we don't have to?
Not I think, it is. So it's not a question of thought. Thought is the most...
Let's delete those two words and just say we don't have to.
But to live without effort requires the greatest sensitivity and the highest form of intelligence. You don't just say, well, I won't struggle and become like a cow. But one has to understand how conflict arises, the duality in us. So can one observe quietly, without any choice, without any, say, observe what is going on in ourselves. The mirror in which we see our faces. How you comb your hair, how you brush your teeth, how you shave or do your face up, and so on. Can we observe as closely, as definitely, as precisely as possible, without any distortion? That means we have to understand the movement of choice. Please ask yourself, why do we choose psychologically? Inwardly say, I will do this, I won't do that. This is right, that's wrong. I'm violent, but I must become non-violent. I have pride, but I've become humble. You understand? This inward choice going on all the time. Is there choice at all when there is clarity? So we're asking, why is there this choice in us? Apart from the choice of things. Could we look at it for a minute? Human beings throughout the world inherited probably from apes and so on. There are violent people, human beings are throughout the world. And he says he realizes what is happening through violence, not only in himself, collectively. He says that let us be non-violent, let's practice non-violence, let's talk about non-violence, let us use that instrument politically, and so on. This has been one of the things that India has produced, non-violent, not only India, but others have talked about it long before. So, you are violent, if I'm violent at all, we are violent. And then we say, I will become non-violent, which is a choice, isn't it? Where there is separation in my thinking, I can separate thought from action. I think one thing and say other thing. Think one thing and act another. That is separation, that breeds conflict, hypocrisy. So one can go into this question of conflict very, very deeply. And when you begin to understand the nature and structure and the way of its subtlety, as you watch it, they're very watching without any choice. That in that watching, you will see that conflict ends. And that requires great attention to every thought, every action, every way of inward feeling. And if one wants to end that conflict, you have to give tremendous attention, not casual attention, not one day or one week later, but keeping that attention moving all the time. Yes, sir, you tell me be aware. I'm blind. I think that's an elephant. How am I? You follow my question, sir?
Yes.
I am blind. And I want to see light. And you say, be aware of that blindness. I say, yes. What does it mean?
Awareness, mindfulness, attention. How do you discriminate of these?
I would say, sir,
Different, yes,
I would
different,
say.
yes. These three: awareness, mindfulness, and attention.
I would say attention, awareness in which there is no choice.
Right.
Just to be aware. When choice enters into awareness, there is no awareness.
Right.
And choice is measurement, division, and so on. So awareness is without choice, just to be aware.
Yes,
Say, I like this room,
that's right.
all that has ended.
Yes.
Attention to attend. In that attention, there is no division.
Also, that means no choice.
Leave for the
Yes,
moment.
yes.
Attention implies no division. Me attending. And so it has no division, therefore no measurement, and therefore no border. One can be aware of what kind of dress you have. One may say, I like it or don't like it. So a choice doesn't exist. You are wearing it, that's all. But attention in that there is no attender, one who attends. And so no division.
But the Buddha's teaching of the Satipatthana is that in the Satipatthana practice, meditation, is that there is no discrimination, there is no value judgment, there is no like or dislike.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You only see.
Yes.
That's all.
Or if you totally attend with your ears, with your eyes, with your body, with your nerves, with all your mind, with your heart, in the sense, affection, love, total attention, what takes place.
Of course, what takes place is an absolute revolution, internal, and complete revolution.
What is the state of such a mind that is completely attentive? See, it has no quality, but it has no quality, no center, no, and having no center, no border. And this is an actuality. You can't just imagine this. If you're aware, not so I'm aware, but I don't like that shirt. It's too blue. So I was told this morning. So are we aware in that sense, without choosing, a choiceless awareness? Then, if you are so choicelessly aware, then you are attentive. Understand? Choiceless awareness means attention, not cultivating. Say, I must attend. But becoming aware of the trees, the birds, the balloons going up the mountains, the light on the clouds, the evening, the moonlight, and so on. What? Aware of all this. And your reaction to all this. And by not responding, not choosing, I like this, I don't like that. It's mine, it's yours. You follow? Just to be aware. From the choiceless awareness, there is attention. Right? Attending with your eyes, with your ears, with your nerve, with all your being. So the quality of attention and the quality of inattention, not attending, are two different things. Where there is inattention, there is choice, unawareness, lack of attention. Then the recording process goes on. The old habit is established. But when there is attention, the old habit is broken. You got it? Will you do it? That's the fun, not just listen to a lot of words, but when I actually puts, not into action. See the truth.
Yes, Harshad bhai, please. Unmute yourself.
Yes. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dubeji. This topic, choiceless awareness, it seems to me that this is the real teachings of Krishna Ji is about awareness or intelligence. And he wanted to awaken this kind of awareness because this awareness doesn't exist in most human beings, though people say I am aware of this or that. But what Krishnaji means or what I feel is that awareness is in a different dimension than thinking and feeling. And as long as we are living in the plane of thinking and feeling, we cannot see clearly. But when we come out, or when there is coming out of it, then we can see the formation of thoughts and feelings. And in that, there is nothing to be done. The thoughts and feelings come and go. And in that, there is no sense of I or me, which wants to change what is observed. So there is no observer, and it is a clear seeing. And in that, it is like a light in which all our problems are solved. The beginning of a problem can be seen also, like when there is anger or fear or boredom or jealousy, any problem coming. Uh, when a person is in that state of awareness, everything is seen very, very clearly. And that is a real beauty, I think. And this awareness is hidden under dense clouds of thinking and feeling. So this awareness has no chance of coming above the plane of thinking and feeling and seeing it everything clearly. So this is what I understand, and one can explain it as Krishna ji explains in many many different ways. But the description is not what it is. And when awareness comes in our life, we see everything in a different way than before. Before our when we were looking at a tree or a human being or a mountain, we were just seeing, not see anything beauty. But when this awareness comes, then we can see non-verbally, even a tree or a mountain, and everything looks very, very clear, fresh, new. So even though we see the same thing, same people every day, we see everything very fresh when there is this awareness is awakened, and we don't carry on the burden of knowledge and images which we have gathered. And without this awareness, everything is this knowledge is gathered, and we look at everything through that knowledge, and in that there is nothing new. So this awareness, choiceless awareness or intelligence, is something new. It is quite different only when a person comes to this dimension, then we'll understand what Krishna ji is talking about. And then there are no more doubts and questions, only looking at what is. Even if a question is arising, one can look at the question and there is no need to find answer, because this process of questioning and answering, I feel it is an intellectual verbal process, whereas awareness is non-verbal and it can see everything very clearly. Okay, I have said enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshad bhai. Yes, Anandji, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. So I have a doubt, sir. When I say there is awareness, choiceless awareness, my problems are solved. I would question that, sir. I mean, problems are out there in the world. I mean, the problems are there. Say I have met with an accident. My father had passed away. I mean, that when I remain with it, that doesn't mean my problems are solved. There's an understanding of it. That is very essential to know what understanding means. It doesn't mean all my problems get solved. So understanding and saying that problems will not exist are two different things, sir. I mean, that is how I am looking at it. Over, sir.
I like to make a comment
Yes, please.
that I feel that there is nothing to understand or to see, and that seeing is action. So understanding is kind of an intellectual process when we see the cause and effect and whatever, how everything is connected. So it is a thinking process, whereas awareness is looking at everything without trying to understand. There is no person who wants to understand, only to see. And that is the real beauty of awareness. Okay, I have finished.
Yes, Dinesh, he wants to say something.
Are you able to listen to me, sir?
Yes.
It is very interesting, sir. Today's topic is very interesting. Now, what I want to say, we have already listened what JK has to say. We also listened what Harshad ji has to say. And another aspect which Anand ji has shown, that also we have listened. Now, what I had to say is fine, okay. When you are there is no attender or there is no choice taking person or no center, then this is okay, fine. What about he has also talked about concentration, and then he has talked about attention, but there is a in between thing which is focus. When a person attends a thing, suppose a boy is working in an organization, he is having targets, so he has to focus on the thing. When he has to focus, that is not definitely concentration. Neither it is concentration and nor he is attending the things. He is focused on the things because he has to achieve the targets and all that. So this situation, what will happen? We have to understand one thing, that here he has to definitely register the things because it is already technical thing and all that thing, technical thing. But automatically the psychological pressures, whatever the fear is there or whatever the anxiety is there, it is already recorded. And it is also moving with the thought or moving with the situation. So what will happen in this case? So choiceless, can he be choicelessly aware at that in that particular moment? It is to be seen. This is very interesting, because otherwise when person is retired, he has got no goals. Already he has, as Harshad time and again said, that freedom is at the beginning. If he is already has got some freedom, he can look at the things. But when he is in a process of becoming, what will happen? He cannot avoid totally the becoming process. Becoming means he has to achieve some goals, he has got some targets, he has got some motives and all that. So what will happen in that case? This I want to discuss, or want views of Harshad ji on this particular thing. Thank you.
Yeah, when there is a motive and choice, there is a conflict, because you don't achieve what you want to achieve, and then there will be conflict and disappointment and all that thing. So this awareness is something quite different. It is looking at thinking and feeling clearly. So
my question was, can he be choicelessly aware in this situation?
No.
See, if we study the mind structure of, mind has got a tendency to focus on one aspect only at a one time.
Yeah. Mhm.
So what will happen, sir?
I don't know. That person can talk about it.
I think Dinesh is it's such an hypothetical question that
Mhm.
I think you have to find your own answer. And if you feel that people who don't have goals, who are retired, they are the wisest people, then that is also not right, because there is no end to desire.
Yeah.
So I mean, one can have choices at any age. So it's not that the first step starts when you retire.
Mhm.
I think it's important to have a state of mind which becomes quiet. Then only there is a possibility of attending without attender. But so long there are, you know, goals to be achieved, and one has to be focused and do this and that, and then get frustrated or elated if the choices are reached, then of course there can't be a choiceless awareness. In a state of choiceless awareness, all these things take a back seat. The mind don't look through goals, achievements. It's a different state of mind. I mean, it can't be explained by verbally. Some, like Harshad Bhai mentioned, it's quite non-verbal. It's more seeing than explaining. This is the way I look at it. Prasad sir
Yes,
wants
sir.
to say.
You are saying the same thing which I am saying. Can we negate becoming totally?
It's not a question of choice, Dinesh. This is what I'm saying. The question itself is wrong. You can't
Mhm.
decide to negate.
Mhm.
But you have to come to that state of mind where it goes on, just vanishes. I mean, one can explain this intellectually. So there's no question of you can or you cannot. One has to reach that state. And as I also always mentioned that there is a preparation to reach that stage. Krishna denies that there's no time and all that, but for ordinary mortals like us, one has to follow the Buddhist path. For many, it comes automatically, but for most of us, one has to go through that, hard task in our daily living. Sensitivity, compassion, how does it come? By leading a different kind of life, not the kind of life that we normally do. I think Prasad sir wants to say something, and then Durga ji. Yes, sir. Unmute yourself.
Sir, Mr. Waghmare always raises very subtle questions. He says there is an intermediate stage between awareness and attention. And he has given the example of somebody who is given a target to reach. Sir, I think reaching target is not becoming. I mean, you cannot call that becoming. Reaching targets is there. So you cannot become aware of a target, but you can become aware of your state of mind while trying to reach the target. If you are very competitive while reaching the target, you can become aware of that sense of competition in you. You can become aware of that choicelessly. Yes, I am competitive. I am trying to reach the target sooner than my peer. Like that, you can become aware of not the targets, but the state of mind in the process of reaching those targets. As Dubey said, even old people like me are not free from these competition and things like that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Durga ji, please.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Yes, sir. It's to frankly speaking, sir, it is such a vast topic. And in fact, when I, after listening to it once or twice, my very first thoughts were, what is the point in discussing these things at all? Because Krishnaji always sets such a tall order, and every, can say talk, and of course, this is the encapsulation of all the small bits and pieces of what he spoke on awareness, attention, and choiceless awareness. And this is even far more intense than his usual, where he speaks about one particular, aspect. And that it's very beautifully composed, sir. The music and the visuals are so relaxing. They really allow you to take all these things, in a much more in a calm way. That is a really good work that's been done there. And he says he starts with awareness and he goes into attention. And in the last few clippings, he says choiceless awareness is attention. So sometimes you feel, Krishnaji is making some kind of a clear distinction between awareness. And there's one good example also he gives, where when a few people are sitting in the car in India and they didn't even notice when the driver ran over a goat. They were talking about awareness and they were not even bothered to see that, So he speaks of awareness means awareness in general about all the, he comes out with such beautiful descriptions of nature, the skies, the mountains, the greenery and everything. So awareness in general, he speaks about all these things. Awareness of what are the color of clothes we are wearing, the other person is wearing, how he's behaving and all that. So awareness is, maybe to some extent, to my knowledge, sir, it is more general based and it exists, of course. And then he comes to that, as judgment and coming out with our own opinions about what we are seeing, the shirt is blue, I don't like blue, that kind of a choice that comes again with our thought projections. So he makes a clear distinction there. And in the last two videos, he says attention is more or less equivalent to choiceless awareness. I feel attention comes, choiceless awareness comes when one focuses oneself, about one's own life, about one's own, the way one's mind works, the way one's life unfolds for oneself. One's personality unfolds, in relation to other people, So I feel this attention and choiceless awareness comes more when we come very closer to our own selves, our own behavior. I feel that is the area where attention comes in. That's what I have to say, sir. And I'm glad that you also spoke about. In fact, I was wanting to hear what are your viewpoints about all this. And regarding this, the issue, Mr. Dinesh has raised about the focus. I feel, I think Krishnaji's teaching is for all age groups. Whichever age group you have got collected, I think it starts working on you. When we are young, we have to work, we have to deal with so many targets and issues and all. That's not just like Mr. Prasad has clarified, that's not becoming. That is your way of living. You have to work hard to meet your targets, to meet your goals, to earn your living. That is there. You have to do all that. And when you are doing, I think Mr. Prasad has cleared it very well. The way of doing. Am I doing it with so much of energy that I want to excel from others and all this kind of things? Do you have this? Am I just focusing on earning my livelihood, or how am I working about it? What are my mindset? What is my mindset in going about my targets? Am I paying all my attention at the expense of neglecting my own family members, other aspects also? So that can be watched, because watching and these things are is a perpetual process. They're not, he says, it's not for one day, it's not for 1 week, it's a constant process. So the more you are at it, maybe the more things start revealing to you, the more clarity comes. I think that's what he says. The problem gets solved. The problem doesn't get solved on its own. The more and more the focus we start giving, we pay attention to our things. The maybe the conditions, the circumstances. The more closely we are watchful of them, maybe the clarity starts emerging. That's what he means, maybe. That's all I have to say, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Pradeep, you want to say something? Mr. Verma? Pradeep Verma? I think, yes, Mr. Rajendran, I think there is some disturbance coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rajendran here, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, just this Dinesh, see, actually, I have a bad throat and I was down with the fever for 4 or 5 days. So please forgive me. So just with regard to Shri Dinesh question of target and goals, etc. See, for gaining a livelihood, so knowledge and effort and everything is necessary for gaining a livelihood. But having that choiceless awareness will also help for earning such a livelihood. This awareness, such an awareness, will make things easier for achieving goal or gaining any other form of livelihood. Second thing, this choiceless awareness is one of the difficult terms. Most of us struggle to understand. Just like observer is the observed. And Krishnaji tried in this video to make it simplified. He said simply, choiceless awareness is just attention. Attention without choice. The choice is effort. Can one make an effort to be choicelessly aware or make an effort to be attentive? The effort is just the thought, the observer. So, whether effort is necessary to be aware, to be choicelessly aware, or to be attentive. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rajendran. Thank you. Yes, Anandji, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, generally we quickly come up with answers. So whenever, I mean, I generally don't listen to what Kay is talking about. Now, when the moment he talks about choiceless awareness, I already come to certain conclusions. I analyze it. This is how it should be, or this is what it is. Now, when am I aware is a question, sir. Am I aware that I'm one of the reasons for what is happening out there, the problems which is out there, the kinds of violence which is taking place, the kind of killings which is going on, the kind of destruction which is taking place. It's only when I begin to see that, then probably, I begin to be sensitive. I'm putting within quotes. So as long as I'm not aware of what is happening out there, I cannot talk about awareness at all. Can I see the disorder which is out there is a question. Disorder out there, disorder in me. Now, whether it's choiceless awareness of the first step or the freedom, whatever I say, is it possible without me being sensitive? Or can I observe that I'm an insensitive being? Can I first observe that? Not try to say what choiceless awareness is, what is perception, what is freedom and all that. We are all the time getting caught in trying to say what these are. Without understanding myself, it is impossible to know what is about all these things. So first and foremost, I need to see look inside me, what I am. What kind of a human, what kind of a being am I? The kind of disorder which is happening out there, I am one of the reasons too, one of the factors. This is very essential, sir. Not get caught in all what freedom means. I mean, the first step is the last step, and awareness and perception, action, and all that. It is very, again, I'm repeating, sir, it is very essential, for me to understand what is happening out there. It can happen only when I am sensitive. Is that there in me is what I need to look at it, sir. That's about all. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you. Yes, Pradeep Verma. Yes. Verma, sir, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Because I am in Kasoli, so network problem is there. Network problem. I have few comments to share. We conveniently skip the instrument that watches and comprehends in its own way and starts naming and blaming and babbling like great babblers. You see, in a restless state, this instrument has its own filters. The wave we may call light wave goes out and comes back, scripting a strong story to be narrated. All living things are blessed with awareness to survive in different conditions that are always changing incessantly. Man has gone beyond biological survival into a psychological world of fantasy, working out the materialization of his dreams, a world of choices. This psychology has taken him away from his natural base or natural state. He has
I think we have lost Verma, sir.
May I make a comment?
Yes, please.
Yes. When this awareness is really awakened, we can see everything very clearly, not only thoughts and feelings, but even the things outside. If there is any pollution or any violence, we can everything we can see it, and we know also what is behind it. But it seems to me that we cannot solve the problem of the humanity there, but we have to be very, very clear and see everything clearly. And the real problems in humanity is fear, desire, ambition to become. All this is creating problems, political problem and all that. So one has to go right at the root, and that we can have, that we have to see within ourselves. And when we are able to see ourselves, we don't create more problems in the world, and whatever we do will be good. It will not create more confusion in the world. That is what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Can I come in, sir? To what Mr. Parekh said?
Yes.
So when I say awareness has to be awakened, see, again, I get caught in time. And what is happening out there, I can't do anything with the humanity. Again, I'm lost. Whether I can do or not is completely a different issue. Can I see what I am? That is very essential. K says, you change and the world changes. When you radically change, I mean, it helps the humankind, mankind, the human consciousness. That is the most essential part. Now, K was there for 70 years or 90 years he lived. There were problems in the world. There were killings, there were, violence, there was destructions. So much of it happened during his time. But what he says is very essential. Can I be out of it is a question. One problem less to the world. Can I look at that very seriously is what is essential. Not because I change, the entire world changes. No, it doesn't. But again, coming back, even K, in later years, before he passed away, he started talking about 10, 20, 30, whatever it is, the critical mass. He did speak about the critical mass. When few people get together and there is a change or whatever happens, it does impact the species consciousness. Experiments have been done on monkeys and it's been proven. So it is just because I change doesn't mean, the violence is going to stop out there. I'm just looking at myself within quotes, I say. I mean, I'm one problem less to the world. That's how I would look at it. That's about all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Dinesh ji.
Harshad sir, there was also a discussion in this about the fear. So whether this fear can be one can be free from this fear simply by choiceless awareness, or attention to the fear has to be given and the cause has to be looked after. Then only it can go.
Yes.
What are your views?
Yeah, all our problems are coming from thinking. Fear or desire or loneliness or boredom. From thinking comes everything. So it is possible, I feel, to look at the thinking not from thinking. If we are looking at thinking from thinking, that's the intellectual process. But coming out from thinking, feeling, and looking clearly how fear arises, or desire, or jealousy, or anger, all these are arising from thinking. So one has to go right at the root. And we can't solve problems separately. First fear, and then desire, and then loneliness. No, the root is same. The root is the self, the me, and the me who wants to understand everything through thinking. It's not possible, I would say. One has to be very, very silent to look at the beginning of a thought. And when a person tries to do it, then there is a possibility that even the thinking stops. And at that time, most people get frightened of being in that state of no thinking. And so they don't want to look inward. So they think about the problem outside the world, and what is happening in politics, economics, and all that. So one has to look uh, very, very curiously, with all energy and attention, to look how we are creating our own problems, whether it is a fear or anger or any problem. So one has to look at right at the source. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Arun ji, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So actually, sir, I just felt like related to Krishnaji's teaching itself, he gives a lot of emphasis on this knowledge part of it. So I think the awareness is, if we are aware that knowledge is the past, that happens in the present moment. And if you see, many of the teachers have also mentioned that there is a lot of, they emphasize a lot about this present moment. So I think present moment is where the awareness itself, is it has its roots, or it triggers. So when we are aware that knowledge is the past, then I think there is a sense of awareness. And the second point which I wanted to mention is a small quote which I liked about awareness is from Thich Nhat Hanh. He says that awareness is like sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. So something which I had read it long back. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Verma sir, we lost you in between. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Pradeep Verma. Unmute. Verma, we can't hear you. I think there's some problem with the internet. I think we can hear Verma ji later. Yes, Durga ji, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. So I just would like to bring to the notice of, the beautiful aspect of the whole video. I thought I should share with all of you. What appealed to me so much. You know, I think yeah, at the time of what is at this time, 10:44 or 10:51 in that timing in that video. I think that was an interview between K, and I think he was having a discussion with a radio personnel, sir. That was 1968 talk. I don't know whether you are aware of that or not. They where he was speaking to a person. That name has also come, but I
Houston
think
Smith. Houston Smith.
HS, yeah, Smith, you know. I think that was some kind of a radio broadcast or something, sir, or a
Mhm.
television.
No.
Mhm.
Houston Smith was a professor of philosophy,
Okay,
and he has written a number of books on religion, especially Oriental religions and so on. And
okay.
he had a dialogue with Krishnaji.
Okay. So actually, similar kind of a broadcast I had seen long time back. I thought I was mistaken that, but anyhow, sir, that was a very beautiful piece. And Krishna was looking very handsome in a very nice suit, and he was looking much younger also. And how he was able to catch the essence of what Krishna was saying about how we use all the time words and words and words. It is not about words. Without using words, can we observe everything? So he emphasizes that in that particular clipping, and and very nicely he catches hold of the very essence that and the light is, we are all the time trying to grope at the ray of light before us, whereas we just have to reverse ourselves, and we are the the whole thing is just behind us. In words like that, Smith has summarized that was a very beautiful part of it, and it was very intense kind of a discussion I felt. And at these things at 12:47, the transcript I'm reading from the video. So he says there is going to be conflict, there is going to be conditioning, all that is there, and the duality will be there. That doesn't mean that I don't struggle and become like a cow. That's what Krishnaji says there. That means, if you are avoiding struggle, and if you just want to see, Krishnaji has stated something, so I have to become like that. That means you are you are completely forgetting about everything, and maybe you're following in a different kind of a trap. Somehow that word really appealed to me, sir. He says it needs a lot of sensitivity and highest form of intelligence. Of course, Krishnaji uses his words, intermittently, so that we keep getting confused and lost. So that particular word I really would like to about it, I thought I should bring to our notice. And one more thing, sir, when he says about hypocrisy, sir, that was really, I think these things, these are the small things we need to pick up in our own lives. Maybe there is nothing called one big kind of attention and choiceless awareness that happens in our lives. Maybe these are the small things we pick up in day-to-day life, by all these things are bringing to our focus. So he says, hypocrisy, he says, we say something, we think something, and actually we act in a different way. So that is a very important point, that caught my attention, sir. So can we watch this in our lives also? Am I being hypocritical? Do I say, think, and act in the same way, or there are so many differences arising in myself? So I thought, these are all the small little things. By bringing to our notice and becoming aware of them, maybe our understanding also deepens, sir. So I thought some of those points really struck my attention. I thought I should bring them to the notice of everybody, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Durgaji. Yes, Anandji.
Yes, sir. So I thought, what I said, I thought I came across what Krishnamurti has spoken. I mean, what he said, whatever just now I said, he says to be aware means to be sensitive, alive to the things about one, to nature, to people, to color, to trees, to the environment, to the social structure, the whole thing, to be aware outwardly of all that's happening and be aware of what is happening inside. This is what he says, sir. When we are talking about awareness, I have to be aware what is happening out there and what is happening over here. That is very essential. So that is what I was trying to convey, and it's beautifully put over here, sir. So I thought I will read that. So that's about all. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. I think one has to start from the external. That it's easier that way. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, Mr. Rajendran, please unmute yourself.
Sir, just I want to share in a light vein. While I was watching the video, I was amazed by the intensity and the expression of Krishnaji. It just reminded me of yesterday's superheroes, Nageshwar Rao, or Dilip Kumar, or Rajendra Kumar, or Shivaji Ganeshan. So much intensive and very expressive, sir. Amazing. Really. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Krishnaji was that way. He always used to speak with lots of passion. You know, it will touch your heart immediately. Yes, that's the way it was.
May I make a comment?
Yes, please.
Yes, I think all human beings, most of people in the media and politics, they are starting with the external. But only when they go in, then they can begin to look outward in a different way than before. Otherwise, it just more and more conflict, more and more confusion, and more problems people keep on adding by just reporting what is happening outside. But only when we begin to look clearly within ourselves, then we also begin to look clearly outside also. And then we do the action in a proper way, not in a egoistic way that I want to solve the problem of the world, that, but there is a sensitivity and the work is done very quietly without making too much propaganda about it. Okay, I finish.
Thank you. Yes, Vermaji, can we hear you again? Yeah. We lost you. Yeah. Unmute yourself. Prasad, can you unmute yourself? Mr. Pradeep Verma. I think he has problems.
So can I say something, sir?
Yes, please.
So when we talk about media, sir, all across the globe, media has become very corrupt. They're only interested in their own benefits, their own profits, their circulation, their readership, and all that. Every media throughout the world. In fact, media has been given a lot of importance by many governments. In India, it is the fourth estate. When there's a problem in Lok Sabha, you have Rajya Sabha. When there's a problem in Rajya Sabha, you have judiciary. When there's a problem in judiciary, the media comes in. No, all four are corrupt. Even media is corrupt. Media is it's completely, I mean, it's worse than the other three, I would say. They're only looking at from their point of view. No, when I say media, I don't know why we bring in media over here, but that media is corrupt to the core. They are not looking at this something they should do with the society and things, an improvement in society and things like that. I doubt that, sir. I doubt that very much. They are just like any other person. Any person in media, in fact, you ask a media person, he doesn't even know what a fourth estate is. He may be working for a publication, an organization, or any channel. You ask him for this step, most of them are not aware of it. The responsibility of media is tremendous. I mean, nobody looks at that. When not only in India, throughout the world, the media is completely corrupt. That's my observation, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would say that corruption is everywhere, not only in media, in politics, even in NGOs. There are many fake NGOs are there, and everywhere it is there, in police or lawyer, everywhere it is there.
So it is in society, sir, doctors and everyone, you are IAS officers, IPS officers, it is there. But the responsibility which has been given to media as a fourth estate, they need to understand that. That is very essential. As I mean, if you say as an Indian, again, I wouldn't want to consider myself Indian, the responsibility of Indian, then again, there's a problem. But I'm saying as media, I mean, a responsibility has been given to them. They are not even aware of it. That's the only point.
Yes, Durga ji.
Sir, it is not pertaining to the today's topic. It is just out of the context. If I may, use this or take this opportunity. I came to know that Mr. Prakash Maheshwari is not well. He's admitted and all. So anybody from our Indore friends who knew about his present condition or something, maybe they can share about his status or something, sir. I just wanted to find out. He was sick and he was admitted in the hospital for the past 2-3 weeks or so. I heard about it. Maybe somebody, if is gone to meet him or something like that, maybe they can share the information, his present status, if he's recovering and if he's doing good and all. That's all I want to ask, sir.
Durga ji, say that again. Who is hospitalized?
Mr. Prakash Maheshwari.
He is asking about Prakash Maheshwari. He has been hospitalized for quite some time, and he is under treatment.
Okay.
Exact position is not known, sir. But he is recovering and he is in the hospital.
Jain Saab should know him because I don't know.
Actually, his condition is stable and he is recovering, but recovery is very slow.
What is it? COVID or something, or is the normal?
No. He is having problem with the liver.
I think he was admitted due to jaundice and all, sir. So in between, few messages and all that he said that it's recovering, but it's not doing very much good progress and all. So of late also no messages and all from him. So I wonder if he's doing good or not. That's all.
No, recovery is very slow. And he's struggling. No doubt he's struggling, but recovery is very slow. But is okay. 2 days back, I had a talk with him. He said that I am recovering.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for the information. Thank you.
We all wish him for a speedy recovery and hope he starts his normal functioning soon. Well, we have come to the...
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
What Anandji is saying, actually, this game of positive and negative, corruption and good people and bad people will always be there. Now media, he said that media is powerful, but now social media has come into the picture. And even we are having WhatsApp groups and your Facebook and all that. So there is always a counter measurement will be there, and this game will be going on. So one has to be very positive and should have the positive outlook, I think.
So social media also, I mean, it's misleading most people. So social media has got absolutely no responsibility. Anybody can say anything. See, media has got certain responsibility. If the reporter is not good, he'll get thrown out. So here, there's nothing like that. I can write anything I want. There's no control about anyone. So social media is completely, it's doing much more damage than most other, including, I would say, the media. Media at least cannot be responsible to that extent the way social media is.
This game will be always there, sir.
It will be there as long as, yes, as long as human being, you and I are there, the game will go on. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. So we need to look at it. I mean, am I serious about it? Am I really sensitive to what is happening? Do I really care for my children? Do I care for my children's children? Is the question. So that is what I need to look at it. That's important, isn't it, sir? So from that angle, that's what I would say, sir.
It's a relevant
that's how it is.
Relevant topic, but I think we need another session to discuss.
Session for it.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Absolutely right.
I think as a student of Krishnaji's teachings, we should confine ourselves to knowing ourselves. And
absolutely.
Somebody mentioned that if I can change a little bit the world around which I live, there will be visible changes around it. So I think we should confine to that only. And anything, if you want to change something outside, it's a futile attempt, the way I look at it. I think we have come to the end of the session now, and Thank you all. Next Sunday at 11, we'll have Prasad sir, Mr. MBR Prasad, and he'll be talking on my understanding of J. Krishnamurti. So you're all welcome to join at 11 o'clock next Sunday, that is 25th of September. Please do join if you're free. And with these words, I thank you once again. Good night. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dubey.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks to all parties.
Thank
Modak,
you.
please end it.